President Obama firing back against criticism of his unwillingness to use the term radical Islam. The president referring to the label as, quote, a political talking point. Listen.
What exactly would using this label accomplish? What exactly would it change? Would it make ISIL less committed to trying to kill Americans? Would it bring in more allies? Is there a military strategy that is served by this? The answer is none of the above.
All right, here now Sebastian Gorka, chairman of the Threat Knowledge Group. Do you agree with that? Is there no strategy? There's no advantage to using the term?
I'd ask the president, when you've got a patient in a hospital or in a clinic, does it matter what you diagnose them with? If they have tuberculosis and you say, it doesn't matter, you've just got a cold. Do you think that matters to the patient? Do you think if you give them 2 aspirins that they've got TB, they're not going to die? This is absurd. How can the correct naming of a threat not be important?
Well, because he's trying to say that he's treating it the same way. It's all just a label, and you don't agree with that, obviously.
Rubbish.
It's not. How should he be treating it differently? If he's calling it radical Islam, how would others be treating it differently? If the president acknowledged it as that, would it change the behavior of other countries?
Look, the fact is, there has been a narrative for 7 years that the White House is wedded to, that terrorism is the result of poverty and lack of education. That's why they refuse to call it what it is, a religiously fueled jihad. If we started to accurately talk about it, then yes, we would have allies say, oh my gosh, America finally gets it and they care. It would be incredibly symbolically important and also operationally. The FBI guys I know are fed up of getting this PC stuff driven down their throats.
At the top of the speech, because I watched the whole thing from top to bottom, he started out by saying, he called him, this was, a disturbed young man who was basically, almost depressed and was wandering around on the internet. I mean, he blamed the internet, and he said, at the very last moment, he pledged allegiance to ISIS, but there is no evidence that this was directed by ISIS, trying to mitigate and isolate this as, a single sort of crazy, depressed individual.
What difference does that make to the 49 dead people? It makes no difference at all. Why are we always looking for excuses? Did we say Adolf Hitler and Dr. Mengele had a bad childhood? Did we say that Stalin, Lenin, and Khrushchev probably weren't hugged by their daddies as little boys? If you're looking for excuses, you're actually beginning to make the perpetrator the victim. It's shameless. It's shameful.
Well,
shameful.
He's trying to say that by using the label, what you're doing is really inflaming the rest of the Muslim community that would come and help you.
Let me ask you, do we really think that it makes a difference to ISIS? Do we think they're going to be deadlier?
What about other moderate Muslims that
they know the most. I mean, listen, President Sisi is the president of the most populous Arab nation in the world. He went to the equivalent of the Vatican for Sunni Islam, the Al-Azhar. And on New Year's Day 2 years ago, he said to the most powerful clerics in Islam, you have to help me engender a religious revolution in Islam because the jihadis are winning. Now, if he knows it, if King Abdullah says this is a religious war inside Islam, we are actually undermining our Muslim allies by saying, these are not the droids you're looking for. It has nothing to do with religion. It's about poverty and closeted homosexuality. We're actually undermining our Muslim allies.
Sebastian Gorka, thank you very much.